Greetings, gentlemen, and welcome to the Smart Video Lab. I'm here with the test review for Unit 7. So I'm going to start off with problem 2. I'm just going to do A and D from that particular question. So it says, write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the lines described. So remember, slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So I want a line that passes through the point 2, 2 and is parallel to y equals x plus 4. So the slope of this line that we're given, since it's y equals x plus 4, that's like 1x. So the slope is 1. So my new line of the form y equals mx plus b, I know m is 1. So it's going to be y equals x plus b, where that's 1x. Now, I know y, this point is x comma y. So 2 goes in for y, 2 goes in for x. I subtract 2 from both sides. I get that 0 equals b. So the equation for the line that's parallel to y equals x plus 4 goes through the point 2, 2 is just y equals x. Okay? Now I want the line that's perpendicular to this line, y equals negative 2x minus 4, and goes through this point 3, 4. So it's perpendicular to this line, which has a slope of negative 2, which is like negative 2 over 1. So my line is going to have a slope of the opposite reciprocal of that. So reciprocal 1/2 and opposite, it was negative, now it becomes positive. So that's positive 1/2 x plus b. Now to solve for b, I substitute in for x and y. 4 goes in for y. 1/2 times 3 goes in for x plus b. So then that is 4 equals 3/2 plus b. So now I'm going to subtract 3/2 from both sides. And I go over here into my thought cloud. 4 minus 3/2. That's like 8/2 minus 3/2. So that's 5/2. So 5/2 equals b. So the equation then is y equals 1/2 x plus 5/2. Alright, skipping ahead to 5D. This is a review of solving systems using substitution. So in substitution, I always want to solve for one of the variables in one of the equations. So looking at this, the easiest one that I see for me to solve for is y. So I'm going to rewrite the system. So I'm going to solve for y in the top equation by adding 5x to both sides. So I get y equals 5x minus 3, because I added 5x to both sides. And the bottom equation stays the same. 3x minus 8y equals 24. So now I've got y solved for, I've got y isolated in this top equation. So I'll leave that alone. But I'm going to substitute into the bottom equation that new expression for y. Instead of y, I'm going to write 5x minus 3. Now I have an equation which I can solve. So the top equation stays the same. I always keep the system together. So now that's 3x minus, I'm going to distribute 8 times 5 is 40, so 3x minus 40x, negative 8 times negative 3, that's plus 24, equals 24. So the top equation is still the same, y equals 5x minus 3. Now on the bottom I get negative 37x plus 24 equals 24, and subtracting 24 from both sides, I get top equation stays the same, and in the bottom equation I get negative 37x equals 0. So, moral of the story, x equals 0, and now I can substitute x equals 0 into the top equation. So hence the name substitution again. We substituted in this step, and now we're substituting in this step. Y equals 5 times 0 minus 3. X equals 0, so that's y equals negative 3, and x equals 0. Now we can go back and think about if that makes sense in the original system that we started with right here. Negative 5 times 0 is 0. Negative 3 equals negative 3. Check. 3 times 0 is 0. Negative 8 times negative 3 is positive 24. Check. So that's substitution. So I could write this as 0, negative 3. Okay, now looking at number 6, this is going to be a review of using elimination. So remember, in elimination, I want to eliminate one of the variables. And in this one, since I have 2y and 2y, they're close to being able for me to eliminate them. But I need to just multiply this first equation by negative 1. So when I do that, the new system is negative 7x minus 2y equals negative 24. Bottom equation stays the same. 8x plus 2y equals 30. Now I'm going to add the top equation to the bottom equation. So the top equation stays the same. But when I add the top equation to the bottom equation, negative 7x plus 8x is x. Negative 2y plus 2y eliminates. That's why this is called the elimination method. And negative 24 plus 30 is 6. So voila, I get that x equals 6. And now I substitute that into the top equation. Negative 7 times 6 minus 2y equals negative 24. So that becomes negative 42 minus 2y equals negative 24. And x equals 6. So now I can add 42 to both sides in the top equation. I get negative 2y equals, let's see, negative 24 plus 42, I think is 18. It is. So finally, dividing by negative 2 on both sides, I get y equals negative 9, x equals 6. So the point 6 comma negative 9 is the solution to this system that we started with. Now, number 7 here, graphing the system of inequalities is a bit of a doozy. Let me start with the easy one. X is greater than 0. That's a dotted line. Oh, I messed this up on the PDF that I just posted. X is greater than 0. That is a vertical dotted line, like so. And now we need to solve each of these equations for y. So when I solve this, first I'll subtract 2x from both sides. I get negative 3y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 12. And then I'll divide by negative 3 on both sides. But remember, when I divide by a negative on both sides, I have to flip the inequality symbol. So it becomes y is greater than or equal to 2/3 x minus 4. So less than or equal to became greater than or equal to because I divided both sides by negative 3. Now this one, it's going to be, let's see, 5y is less than or equal to negative x plus 20. So divided by 5, y is less than or equal to negative 1/5 x plus 4. So I'm going to graph this one first, the red one. Starting at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and go down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's less than or equal to, so that's a solid line there. And I'm going to use my handy dandy arrow tool to graph that line. cooperate with me here, buddy. There we go. Now we're cooking with peanut oil, as they say on Duck Dynasty, if you watch that show, which you should. So let me get that to be the right color, just because it'll frustrate me if I don't. I should pause the video while I do this. So I actually went ahead and drew everything there. If you want to go back and look at that, or pause the video and take a look at how I did the blue one as well. I just started at the y-intercept of -4 and used rise and run of 2/3. It's positive, so it's increasing now. I need it to be greater than or equal to the blue line, less than or equal to the red line, and greater than or equal to the vertical dotted line. Sorry, just strictly greater than. So I'm looking at shading in this area all in here. So there you have it. And now we're on to test review number 12. Teacher has a container full of dimes and quarters. There are 11 coins in the container. The value of the coins is $2.15. That's a typo. Sorry about that. How many of each type of coin is in the container? So let's let X represent number of dimes. Let's let Y represent number of quarters. So I need a system of equations. I know the number of dimes X plus the number of quarters Y is 11 because there's 11 total coins. And I also know that the value of the dimes, 10 cents times the number of dimes, plus total value of the quarters, 25 cents times the number of quarters, is equal to $2.15. So there's my system. And usually when you're solving word problems by hand, this has no calculator. Substitution is going to be the easier method for the most part. So I'm going to solve for y in the top equation. Y equals 11 minus x. And then in the next step, I'll substitute that into the bottom equation. So let's do that now. So I get top equation stays the same. I substitute in the bottom equation 0.1x plus 0.25 times 11 minus x equals 2.15. So writing a little bit bigger, y still equals 11 minus x, and I get 0.1x. Now I distribute. Ooh, what happened? I distribute 0.25 times 11. That's like 11 quarters. 8 quarters is $2 plus 3 left over. So that's $2.75. And then minus 0.25x equals 2.15. So when I combine like terms, in the bottom equation, I get negative 0.15x, combining like terms, plus 2.75 equals 2.15. So now I can subtract 2.75 from both sides, and I get that negative 0.15x equals negative 0.60. So dividing both sides by negative 0.15, I get the x equals 4. Now y equals 11 minus x, so 11 minus 4 is 7. So that's 4 dimes and 7 quarters. And if we do the math, 7 quarters is 175 plus 40 cents is 2.15, so check-a-roo. Alright, thank you guys for watching this video. If you did, on the top of your test before you turned it in on Thursday, write math swag for 2 bonus points. Alright, love you guys. Have a great night.